Hey, welcome back to Michael Reality Recap, your daily dose of reality TV chaos. I'm Michael, and if you are new here, buckle up because we do not hold back on this channel. We give you the truth, the tea, and all the messiness in between. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a single recap. Because these reality TV folks, they stay giving me content. Okay, y'all, we are heading to the Philippines today, and I have to say, the Philippines looks absolutely beautiful. But we are not here for the scenery. We are here for Forrest and Sheena. And these two are corny, like genuinely, sweetly, almost painfully corny, but also kind of cute. Corny and cute, that is the energy. Let's get into it. Now, right away, we find out that not everyone is happy about this situation. Specifically, Forrest's mom. She is not happy. And why? Because Forrest made a major life decision without consulting her. As a grown man, a grown adult man made a decision about his own life without asking his mother first. And she has feelings about it. Big feelings, loud feelings. We will come back to Mama because she's going to be relevant again by the end of this episode. Trust me. But first, Forrest and Sheena sit down with an immigration attorney. And this is where things get interesting. The attorney walks them through the K-1 visa process. That is the Fiancé visa for anyone who needs a refresher. And Forrest seems optimistic. He thinks this is going to be straightforward. He thinks he has it figured out. And then the attorney asks the question, what is your income? And Forrest says, disability benefits. Y'all, did you see that attorney's face? Because I saw that attorney's face. That was the face of a professional who has heard a lot of things in their career and is trying very hard right now to remain neutral. Because disability benefits, as kind and necessary as they are, do not count as qualifying income for a K-1 visa. The income requirement has to be met by the petitioner, the person doing the sponsoring. That is Forrest. And Forrest is currently not working. So let me get this straight. This man has been in a relationship with Sheena for 7 years. 7. And at no point in those 7 years did he sit down and research what it actually takes to bring someone to the United States on a fiancé visa. Not once. He just assumed his disability income would cover it and showed up to this attorney meeting like everything was fine. Forrest, baby, Google is free. And to make it worse, he has been relying on Sheena's income while he is over there in the Philippines. But the income requirement for the visa, that is completely on him. Her income does not count for that. So he flew to the Philippines, let her support him financially, and then walked into a lawyer's office with no qualifying income and a plan that did not survive first contact with reality. 7 years, y'all. 7 years, and this is where we are. Now, Sheena asks a very valid question, and I mean genuinely, legitimately, completely valid. She says, why do we have to live in the US? Why can't you just move here? It would be easier. It would be simpler. The visa situation would not be nearly this complicated. And the mood in that room shifted immediately, because it always does. It always does when an American is asked to consider moving somewhere else. Suddenly, the conversation gets very quiet and very uncomfortable. Because Americans, and again, I say this as an American, we do not like giving up our comforts. We do not like the idea of leaving behind everything familiar, but we will absolutely expect someone from another country to pack up their entire life and move to the US without blinking. We expect that to be an easy yes. And somehow, when the question gets flipped on us, suddenly it is complicated. So Forrest, what is your answer? Are you willing to consider moving to the Philippines? Because Sheena is not wrong. The path of least resistance here might genuinely be the one where you are the one doing the moving. Now, Sheena also voices something that has clearly been sitting with her for a long time. She is afraid that if Forrest goes back to the United States to sort out his income and his visa situation, he might not come back. And that fear makes complete sense because it took this man 7 years to make the trip in the first place. 7 years of talking, 7 years of video calls, 7 years of plans that did not quite happen. And he finally showed up. So if he leaves now with no concrete plan, no income solution, no clear timeline, what is stopping history from repeating itself? That is not an irrational fear. That is pattern recognition. And then there is Mama. Let's talk about Mama, because Forrest is stuck in this impossible position right now. On one side, he has Sheena, the woman he loves, who has waited 7 years, who has real and understandable doubts about whether he will follow through. And on the other side, he has his mother, who he just told to stay out of his life. His words, his decision, he drew that line. But here's the thing about drawing lines with your mama. The moment your plan falls apart, and Forrest's plan has already started falling apart, you may need exactly the person you just pushed away. Because figuring out his income situation, figuring out whether he can realistically sponsor a visa, figuring out what his next move even looks like, all of that might require some support. And support systems do not just appear on demand after you have burned a bridge. Big boy, you have got some decisions to make, real ones, and the clock is ticking. Here is my honest read on this whole situation. Forrest is a genuinely good person. I do not think he is malicious. I do not think he is playing games with Sheena. I think he is someone who loves hard but plans poorly. And that combination, love without logistics, is exactly how you end up 7 years into a relationship with no visa, no income plan, and a mama you just told to mind her business. Sheena deserves someone who not only wants to be with her, but is actually prepared to do what it takes to make that happen. Wanting it is not enough. Showing up after 7 years is not enough. At some point, the intention has to turn into action. Real, concrete, researched, planned action. And right now, we are not there yet. The question going forward is simple. Is Forrest going to figure out his situation and come back? Or is Sheena's fear going to become a reality? I genuinely hope it works out for them. I really do. Because underneath all the disorganization and the mama drama and the attorney's face, these two clearly love each other. And that counts for something. It just cannot be the only thing. All right, y'all. That is a wrap on Forrest and Sheena. Drop in the comments. Do you think Forrest is going to get his act together and come back? Or is Sheena going to be waiting another 7 years? Because I need to know where y'all stand on this one. Hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and I will see y'all next week for more chaos. I'm Michael. This has been Michael Reality Recap. Peace.